Hi, so I wanted to do like a part two to our dance alchemy class, our fifth dance alchemy class that happened this Saturday. Just because our Zoom got interrupted for Wi-Fi signal stuff, and I want to make sure that I clarify that the homework for the next week, the next strong, is to do a dance once a day, put on some music. It could just be one song. Um, and in the dancing, we're going to trust that the dancing is going to do the alchemizing, and you just need to begin moving. Let yourself be moved and be in the question. What's the weather? What's the weather? And we're using weather as a metaphor for emotions, for tracking the emotional state, the emotional body, what's going on in the emotional body. And the thing that I want to offer here, this invitation to look at emotions as weather, and why I get the sense that this is a really powerful way to begin to align the emotional body, is because it helps to depersonalize our attachment to feeling the feelings and needing to, let's say, make the feelings mean something about who and what you are. So for example, sadness is present, right? It's really, it's part of our habitual thinking to start to spiral into, well, I'm not supposed to be sad. Why is sadness here? So then confusion comes in. Then there's things like, well, if I'm feeling sadness, then that means that I'm a sad person, and that, oh no, I'm going into depression. Oh no, there's something seriously wrong with my life. What am I doing wrong in my life that I'm feeling so sad, right? So this starts to be a story that can accumulate, and a lot of times this kind of thinking is happening in the background, and we're not really even aware that these kinds of thoughts are present along with the feeling sensation of the sadness. So that's what I mean by we're working to depersonalize our attachment to the emotions meaning something about who you are or what you do in the world, or whether you're doing life in a good way or a bad way, right? We want to depersonalize and detach from that and just feel sadness is present. Sadness, it's here, right? But sometimes that is a little bit too intense. And so one of the ways that we're working with in order to help depersonalize the narrative around the feeling, but stay here and not disassociate, because there's a difference between depersonalizing, disidentifying with the emotion versus disassociating, right? So sometimes when we're in the work of trying to pull back and not have so much personal attachment to the feeling, we can, with good intentions, end up disassociating and like leaving ourselves, our lives again. So like leaving the attention, leaving the embodiment. So we don't want to do that. We want to stay here. And so why we're working with seeing emotions as weather and weather patterns, and weather whether, let's say, experiences, is because it helps to contextualize the emotion, the feeling state, into something that is much greater, much larger within the overarching animate forces of nature, right? So this keeps us in relation, it keeps us in relationship. And this is where the real healing happens. It happens in context to relationship, in connection with a greater experience of the web of life. And so if we can begin to create an internal narrative, an internal perspective, that whenever we're attending to emotion, we're attending to weather patterns happening within the body, within the soul, within the spirit, all of those as one. There are storms or tornadoes or lightly drizzling days or misty, foggy days. There are droughts, hot wind in the desert. There are calm, quiet, cloudy days. There are sheltering in the middle of a tornado. What's the feeling sense happening in the body? If we begin to just unpack tornado, right? So we go into the tornado. What's in the tornado? There's debris, and there's stuff, and there's dust, and there's lightning, and there's like a swooping up of all the elements into this really, really powerful wind. And we know that wind is associated with thoughts. The element of air is associated with thoughts. Okay, so that element's present. And then what do you do in a tornado? You seek shelter. And it's loud. Tornadoes are so loud. Feel the rumbling, hear the rumbling of the tornado. So if your mind and your heart and your body is having all these intense feelings, if you can start to think of yourself as either being the tornado, or like, what's the presence within you that is also capable of seeking shelter inside of that tornado, right? See yourself, what you're doing when you're relaxing and calming and just listening to the sounds of the tornado, which is like a train rumbling and coming through, right? So if you sought shelter underground, you're accessing the earth element. So then there's the alchemy, like, where's the earth in your body? Can you feel the earth in your body, right? Even though the wind is... So weather, emotions as weather. And again, this is about contextualizing that what is moving through you, your body, your soul, your spirit, can sometimes be so much bigger than the little things that our mind's gonna run around and try and associate. Why am I sad? Why am I sad right now, right? Mind's gonna go nuts trying to figure that out, but it can't do the alchemy for you. That's not mind's job. That's not what the thinking mind's job is. Okay? Awareness. Awareness is presence, is grace. Awareness is isness. It always is. It doesn't go anywhere. You want to come into awareness. You want to come into presence. And you want to find that vast, open, steady sky that can be present and aware with the storm passing through. And don't abandon the feelings of the storm, because you are not those feelings. You are the awareness that's aware of those feelings. Because you can be aware of those feelings, you are not those feelings. Those feelings are passing through this body, just like the tornado is passing through the body of the earth.